Are you interested in becoming a BCBA and you don't know where to start? In this video, I am going to give you the steps that you need to know in order for you to become a BCBA. The Board Certified Behavior Analyst is a graduate level certification in behavior analysis. Professionals that are certified as a BCBA are considered independent practitioners who provide behavior analytics services. These individuals can work in schools, hospitals, rehabilitation centers or clinics, home settings, or center-based services. Many individuals that hold the BCBA credential might work with individuals that have autism or some form of intellectual disability. However, that is not all that individuals that hold the BCBA credential do. If you're interested in learning more about the potential populations or jobs that you could have as a BCBA, let me know in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to make a video. Regarding the education that is required to become a BCBA, you will need to obtain a master's degree in psychology, education, or applied behavior analysis. In order for you to know if the institution that you are attending qualifies, the BACB provides guidelines regarding which institutions hold the APBA accreditation or ABAI accreditation. Therefore, if you attend an accredited institution, this means that your degree meets the criteria to be eligible for the BCBA credential. If it is that you have not attended an institution that has been accredited, there is another option that you could pursue in order to be eligible to become a BCBA. And this is via Verified Course Sequence Approval. These are courses that have been verified by ABAI. This means that the course has been verified as meeting the requirements to become a BCBA. In other words, that means that the courses are acceptable to meeting the requirements and eligibility to pursue the credential. So in my case, it's a little bit different. I have a master's degree in social work, so back then, such a long time ago, when I became certified, I was the last group that was eligible to become a BCBA with having a degree in social work. Shortly after, there was a change where the board decided that they would only allow those with a degree in psychology, education, or applied behavior analysis to be eligible. So for me, because at the time I had a degree, I was pursuing a degree in social work, I took the verified course sequence through Florida Institute of Technology online, and that then provided me with the coursework that was required for me to meet the eligibility requirements to become a BCBA. An additional component that is required to become a BCBA is obtaining fieldwork supervision hours. If it is that you would be pursuing your supervision hours via supervision fieldwork, you will be required to obtain 2,000 hours of supervision. If it is that you are looking to obtain supervision via a concentrated supervision fieldwork, then you are required to obtain 1,500 hours of supervision. Most times for the concentrated supervision fieldwork, that is usually attached to a university. However, majority of BCBAs receive supervision via fieldwork supervision experience, so that will be what we focus on here today. When you are having supervision with your BCBA supervisor, your supervision time should be documented. Within this document, it should include the minimum number of supervision meetings that you had and how many contacts you had, as well as a summary as to what happened during those supervision meetings. So the total supervision period would be considered 1 month. And for the fieldwork hours, you are eligible to track at minimum 20 hours during that period or maximum 130 hours. The number of supervision contacts that are required per supervision period would be 4 contacts. So, as we know, the supervision period is 1 calendar month. So within that 1 calendar month, you should have 4 contacts with your supervisor. And within that calendar month, your supervisor should observe you at least 1 time with a client. 5% of the hours that you obtain, remember when we say hours, we're referring to the 20 hours that you can count minimum and 130 hours that you can count maximum, you should receive supervision for 5% of those hours. And your fieldwork hours can include independent hours when your supervisor is not present, as well as supervised hours when your supervisor is present. There are also some supervisors who will hold group supervision or individual supervision. So if it is that you are receiving supervision from a supervisor that provides both types of supervision, you want to make sure that at least 50% of your supervision hours are individual supervision. So pretty much you cannot exceed 50% of your hours as group supervision. Please keep in mind when you are pursuing your BCBA supervision that you complete it within 5 years. The BACB states that the time frame for fieldwork supervision should not exceed 5 continuous years. I understand sometimes it may be that it's very difficult to find a supervisor, or if it is that you switch companies or your supervisor switches companies, then it can put you in a kind of a pickle as it relates to your ability to obtain your hours. But just keep that in mind, because it would be so unfortunate for you to continue on this journey and not be able to become a BCBA just because you exceeded that time frame. However, I know that will not be the case for any of you because you're watching this video, of course. So once you become eligible to apply for the exam, again, you've already got the degree that it requires, you've completed your supervision fieldwork hours, now it is time to apply for the exam. So what you want to do is complete your application in the BACB portal. You will create your own account there. You will have to pay a fee, submit the documents. So this would include perhaps any monthly verification forms and most certainly your final experience verification form, and allow for about 45 days for processing. Typically, it doesn't take that long. However, depending upon the influx of applications that they may receive, they do ask for at least 45 days. If you have found this information helpful, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now we are ready to take the exam. So the cost of the examination is $245. In addition, Pearson charges $125 for every BCBA appointment. Please keep in mind that this fee is in addition to the fee that the BACB charges for the examination. In addition, Pearson collects the fee at the time of scheduling. So now that you've applied for the exam and you're all set to go, please note that the exam will test your knowledge on the BACB Task List 5th edition. However, beginning January 1st, 2025, the exam will test your knowledge on the BCBA Task List, that is the 6th edition. The exam is comprised of 185 questions, and 10 of those questions are unscored. You will not know which 10 of those questions will be unscored because unfortunately, they don't tell you. The exam is structured in a way that there will be 4 possible choices. One choice is obviously the correct answer, and candidates have 4 hours to take the exam. In my personal experience, I went into the exam calm and also nervous in the same breath. However, I made sure that I went in and they will provide you with a whiteboard and a marker, and I tried to put down every acronym that I could remember or any formula just in case I needed to revisit it during the examination. I also told myself that in the midst of the exam, probably about the midpoint, I would take a break and I would step away whether I needed a break or not. This was very helpful just for me to help to clear my mind for a bit, because when you're sitting there for hours and hours staring at a screen, it can be really easy to just zone out. So I did need that break just to step away and regain and refocus myself. During this time when I stepped away, I took a sip of water, I went to the bathroom, I said a quick prayer, and then I got right back into it. The wonderful thing about taking the examination now is that your results will be immediate. Whereas when I took the examination, we had to wait approximately 30 days to get the results. So you are at an advantage because what that allows you to do is celebrate upon receiving your results once you hit submit, or perhaps knowing what areas do you need to focus in on more. After the exam is taken, if it is that you do not pass, you will be provided with a printout that tells you what your score is for the exam and what are the areas that you did not score well on. I know the process as a whole can be very overwhelming and it can be a lot to take in. There are so many steps that you need to complete before you can get those letters behind your name. I am proof that it is doable. So I say stay encouraged because it will happen for you. Also, be sure to check out this video on the screen to learn how I was able to pass the BCBA exam on my very first try. All right, see you there.